Hi, I'm James the Box Office Artist, and welcome back to another tutorial, and this is part 2 of me drawing my man, Captain America. That's right, Chris Evans is Captain America in Avengers Infinity War. Now, in yesterday's video, you saw me lay out the actual figure itself. So that was a construction video. That is the most important video out of all of this, okay? Because if you go through this video without doing that video, if you go through lighting, rendering, all of that without going through that video, if your structure isn't good, you know, it's like polishing some garbage, you know, pretty much. That's what it means, because if your underdrawing is not solid, that doesn't matter how many lines you put on, how much black ink, no matter how you shade or render it, it's not gonna look good, okay? So I implore you, please, before you watch this video, make sure you go through the construction video. It's not that long, 10 minutes long. Check that out before you get into this video. But now that you are here, now that you're here, let's get into some fun. This video is all about finishing, okay? Now when I say finishing, it doesn't necessarily mean you're gonna have to do this in ink. You're gonna see me do this with ink, but you don't have to do that. You could, this would be equivalent to, if you were working in comics, this is the penciling stage, okay? The same as the penciling stage. I'm doing it in ink just so I don't have to do it again, okay? So for you guys, you could use whatever you want. You could just press harder with your pencil, or you know, or use a different pencil, maybe a darker pencil, or you could go straight to ink like I do. Totally up to you, but the principles should be the same. Okay, so this is going to be a lot of fun. It'll be fun to see how this Chris Evans Captain America comes together. So if you guys are ready, I'm ready. Let's get it started right now. Okay, starting off by finishing the head. I always go to the eyes first. Eyes, windows to the soul. Here, drawing the top eyelid and then the bottom eyelid here, as well as starting to draw in the iris here. Try to keep a highlight. That's why I'll just draw you know, the middle of the iris there, and then leave a couple of white spaces for some highlight. And you see here, I'm just pretty much just blacking in eyebrow there, as well as adding some more detail to the eye. So I try to add a line or two just to keep the form of the top eyelid and the bottom eyelid, but I don't want to get too crazy here. And here I draw the other eyebrow. You don't want to draw too many lines, because if you draw too many lines, it stops looking like the particular person, or you run the risk it won't look like the person. So here I go ahead and then I fill in the nostrils, you know, just with dark lines, and then just drawing a little bit of the outer of the nostrils. But I want to leave a lot of it to the imagination here. So drawing the bridge of the nose, again, just a couple lines, not very small too, very thin. Okay, line weight kind of matters whenever you're doing something like this. So here I go ahead and draw the lips, a little bit of shading under the mouth, but you know, I will keep most of it to when I actually do the lighting and rendering video. And now I go ahead and I attack the hair. I like to think of hair like in clumps of hair. I always draw things in little clumps, so I just use short lines to do so. Here, so just keep adding here and all the way around. Like, I am keeping in mind lighting when I'm doing this, I won't lie. Whenever there's lighting and I know it's going to be somewhere over the top of the head, I know I want to keep some of it in shadow, so that's where I add a little bit more detail. Okay, that's why I see a little bit more of the individual strands of hair. Okay, so here now I'm going to go under the nose here, and then going ahead and trying to add in the hair here. Now you don't want to draw every single hair, because it will stop reading. You won't be able to read it, okay? Now, where do you stop and where do you add more lines? Where do you not add lines? You know, again, it is thinking about lighting, and again, we're going to talk about lighting later. But the more detail, the more lines, or more shadow, more lines, less detail, less lines. Okay, so here I'm under the beard here. I also drew in the cheekbones. Notice the lines I used for the cheekbones there. Very, very light. Very, very light. Okay, just enough to define the cheekbones, and that's it. Okay, but here, as you see, I'm filling in the beard here. You notice how I keep the top of the chin, we keep it very light. That's exactly what I did there. And then, of course, filling in the ears and just a little bit of extra extra detail there in the hair. A little bit of hair sticking out in the back, as you know, his Captain America's hair grew. So just thinking that, you know, and also trying to make it separate, making sure that the back of the head hair doesn't look like it's coming in contact with the beard. So you know, you're trying to distinguish those things. Okay, now I'm going ahead and starting to fill in the costume. Now make sure you have your reference open when you're doing this. For the most part, most of the detail is here, and that's when the construction, you know, all of that should be solved before you get into this particular part here. Like all the main things anyway, like all the little detail things you don't have to do. But at the same time, you notice my line weight. I am trying to keep it similar, okay? I'm not going with thicker lines in other places yet. Okay, trying to keep everything in. I'm just trying to put in all the detail I can. Now you notice with this one strap here, I moved up the belt buckle there just a little bit. I felt I wanted to line up with the part that leads into the star. So I did that with both sides. That's why I put it up. Okay, and then just adding a little bit more detail. That's all we talk about here is detail. Here, doing the star, or the place where the star should lie inside there, and then just adding some little scratches and stuff there, and kind of outlining where the star would be. Now when there's color, this whole middle part will be like dark blue, so I just wanted a hint that there was a star there. But you also notice the double line I put around the material there. You know, that's just to kind of make it feel like there's an edge. Okay, more of an edge, and that double line really helps, as well as the part on his chest there, that detail on his chest, the double line. It's kind of like a seam for the outfit. That's why I put it there. Okay, so now working on the shoulder here, and again, we talk about detail. A lot of detail on the shoulder here. You know, that's that little, what's it called, solid part that goes all the way around the shoulder, which I'm drawing in there with the double line again. So those are seams. And then right now I'm drawing in some little holes inside of his shoulder there. Okay, and I'll do the same on the other side. Some of you are asking how much is this video sped up. This is video sped up about 5 times. And this was for all of the videos for this particular tutorial, about 5 times. So stop and start when you need it. Okay, and then here just adding in, again, more detail to the strap there. Okay, and now I'm going to move the camera up because let's work on the body here. Okay, again, just kind of outlining like all this, you know, the red and white detail in his abdomen region here. And what's very important here is all of these lines here should feel like they are going around the particular surface there. So, for example, these lines here I'm drawing on the arm, they should feel like they are wrapping around the arm, not straight across the arm, wrapping around the arm, and that's very important. So here I'm drawing in the detail for the abdominal region. Okay, these will be eventually red, and it's interesting how they connect to his rib cage. So I want to keep that connection. And you also know I don't draw every single line that I laid out. I don't. Here I'm just concentrating on the detail. But all those lines that I put across the abs, you see the wavy line that goes straight through. That helps me determine, okay, there's like this little kind of belt that goes around his abs. There's 2 of them. And the material on top should feel like it's going around that. And I'll show you more about that when I render that just a tiny bit more. But here, what's more important is I'm adding folds. I'm adding folds into his arms. And folds is one of those things. It's very hard to explain your feeling. The best way to learn folds, everyone, is to practice. And to learn from life. Don't just kind of make it up. Don't go by what you see in comics. See, you know, because what's happening is there's a bunch of things happening there. Like the material is interacting with your skin. Okay, it's interacting with the skin, especially where, you know, the arm bends, and it's also fighting with gravity at the same time. So there's lots of scientific things going on. The best way to learn, and I wish I knew the best way to explain this to you guys, but the best way to learn is to look at life. So grab yourself, you know, even put on a shirt that wrinkles a lot, and then bend your arm, and then take a look at it. Take a picture if you can, and that will help you. Here I'm rendering in the hand here, and he's wearing a glove with a lot of detail in it. And I'm going to do the same on the other side here. You know, they're drawing the wrist and then going ahead and drawing the hand. These gloves have a lot of detail in them. Again, detail, detail, detail. Adding in the fingers here. Okay, and the good thing, again, he has a closed fist, which makes it a lot easier to draw. Not too worried about the fingers and all the different hinges in the fingers, so that helps a lot. And now I'm going ahead with the belt here, and pretty much I did not lay out the belt as you know, as much as everything else. You see all the detail inside the belt. Pretty much I'm just making it up. Well, I'm not making it up, but I'm looking at reference at the same time I'm drawing this, and just pretty much trying to fill it in. I'm not too worried about being a 100% accurate with you know, with all the little costume details, but I do my best. Here I'm drawing in the little pouches. Let's hear it from my man Rob Liefeld, who's actually a really great guy. Say what you will about his art. I personally really love his art. I've been a fan forever. I know some of you disagree, which is totally fine. Everyone has their own opinions. But ode to him with all these pouches. By the way, he puts all pouches on his characters. He got that from the show SWAT. That's why. So he thinks of SWAT teams whenever he's putting pouches on characters. But here's what I was talking about. You know those two belts that go across the abdomen? Here I'm actually drawing them in. Here I'm drawing them in. So that material that goes over top of it, it should feel like it's wrapping around those two belts. And that's what I'm trying to achieve here. Okay? So again, for sure this video might be going a bit too fast for you. Don't be afraid to pause this video whenever you need to. Okay? Pause to try to catch up with what exactly I'm drawing here. Okay? So I feel this is looking pretty good here. Okay, and now see, just drawing a seam detail along the side of the arm. Okay, and now some of the pants detail. Okay, just adding a seam like right down. Well, it's not really a seam, it's a little more detail. I gotta find a better word than detail around here. But that's what it is, detail in the costume itself. That's what I am drawing in right there. Okay, so let's go to the legs here, and now I'm drawing in the knee pads here, along with, you know, the pants, adding folds in the pants as well as some detail here. So just keep going back and forth with your reference just to see how it goes there. Adding in the wrinkles in the clothing, of course. Okay, and now we're back at the top. And now we are going to go and change up the line width. Now whenever I'm done all the detail inside, what I like to do is go over with a thicker line all around the edges. And what this does, this helps separate the character from the background and helps separate you know, objects that are far apart from each other. Okay, so that's where here I am adding in. That's why I also noticed I had a thicker line that kind of went almost up to the armpit, right? But I had a line for the ribcage behind, but that one thick line went up into the body. That shows the separation from the arm from the actual body itself. So that's why I did that. Okay, so this is where I go and I add some line width all the way around the particular body here. And again, I try, you know, I try to make sure that like it varies. Okay, so going up and down the arm, you see it like the line kind of shrink just a tad. Now I'm not the best at this. I was never a professional inker, but you know, I try to vary the line widths when I can. Okay, but the most important to me is whenever I feel there is like an edge or like a edge, the eye sees an edge on the body, that gets a thick line. Think about it this way. Think if there was a spider that is on a surface, when the spider walks around your arm, for example, and you can't see the spider anymore, that's where I put a thick line. And here it is. Okay, this is the finishing of the Captain America piece, and I hope you enjoyed that. And again, you could totally stop here. This could be a finished drawing for you, and if it is, congratulations. But I'm personally not finished. I am going to add my own lighting. Now, some people like to finish here because they want the colorist to add that lighting, or they want to add the lighting in color as opposed to ink, and that's totally fine, totally up to you. However you want to play it, that's totally up to you. But for now, this is the finishing, and thank you for watching. And that was it. That was me drawing Chris Evans as Captain America. This is the finished version. Now, you could stop here. You definitely could stop here. A lot of artists, they don't, you know, they don't do heavy blacks. They don't do rendering and shading. They just keep it very simple. And I guess this, I say this would be simple. It's just like the bare details that they put on. You're totally, you know, it's totally up to you and your style. If you want to stop here, you know, absolutely great, fantastic, congratulations for finishing your Captain America. But if you wanted to go a step further and add some lighting and rendering to this particular piece of art, well, that's what the next video is for. So come back for the next video. It will be up later today. I'll come back for the next video and I'm going to show you how I would actually light and render this Captain America, and this will be a lot of fun. So thank you guys for watching. You guys are the best. Thank you for following all of my videos. I really do appreciate it, and I hope you are enjoying these tutorials. I should have a new one every weekend. Every weekend you are going to see tutorial videos from me. I know a lot of you have been asking for it. They are finally here, and they should be coming out regularly. So thank you guys for following along. You guys are the best. Please follow me on all social media, all down below. And if you are new to my channel, you looked around, you like what you see, if you wouldn't mind hitting that subscribe button, I will be your friend for life. And I would love to hear more of your video ideas. Again, I do videos daily, so the learning is actually on the weekend. The tutorials, the interviews, mostly on the weekend. During the days, I like to have fun with you guys. You know, that's where we're gonna get our challenges. That's where I'm gonna combine mechs with toys. I'm gonna all of that stuff. I would love to know your suggestions. Please do let me know in the comments down below. But thank you guys for watching. You guys are the best. My name is James. I am the box office artist. I'm here to say keep drawing, and I'll see you all next time.